Have you ever been called a mistake by the one person who shattered your heart? Before we continue, tell me where you're listening from in the comments section. The gilded ballroom of the Vanderbilt Hotel in Manhattan was a cage. I, Sloane Hart, smoothed my emerald silk dress, a futile attempt to calm my trembling hands. I was here for my father's company, Hart Industries, and for the merger that bound me to my personal hell. St. Patrick. His name was a phantom pain from 3 years ago. He was the storm who had whispered forever before looking me dead in the eye and saying, "You are a beautiful mistake, Sloane." But a mistake, nonetheless. "Smile, darling," my mother, Vivian, whispered, her grip tight on my arm. "The press is watching." My sister, Chloe, shot me a sympathetic look. She alone knew how deep Saint's betrayal had cut. Then I saw him. He moved through the crowd like a predator, his black tuxedo a stark contrast to his dark hair. St. Patrick was an empire. His storm-gray gaze found mine, and the air vanished from my lungs. He stopped before us. "Vivian," he greeted my mother. Then his eyes locked on me. "Sloane." My name on his lips was a brand. I forced my chin up. "Saint." "I trust the merger terms are acceptable?" he asked, a blatant challenge. "They are," I managed. He leaned in, his whisper a secret blade. "Run along now, little mistake. The adults have business to discuss." As he turned away, I felt the old wound tear open, bleeding a fresh, potent fury. He thought I was still broken, but some mistakes are meant to be corrected. The merger made me a prisoner in a glass office overlooking Central Park. My new role as head of brand integration was a joke, a title created to keep me under Saint's thumb. My father, Robert Hart, had retreated to his golf courses, blissfully unaware, while my mother saw only the financial salvation the Patrick fortune provided. My only ally was my assistant, Maya, a sharp-witted woman who feared no one. "He's on his way," she murmured, placing a coffee on my desk. "And he brought his attack dogs." Saint entered without knocking, flanked by his two closest confidants. The first was Silas, his head of security, a mountain of a man with a silent, imposing presence. The second was Cashin, his VP and best friend since college, whose charming smile never reached his calculating eyes. "Hart," Cashin greeted me, a mockery of warmth in his voice. "Ready to play nice?" Saint's gaze was a physical weight. "We're viewing the Atlantic City project. Your sentimentality nearly cost us millions." He was referring to my objection to demolishing a historic library. "It's not sentimentality. It's a PR nightmare." Saint leaned over my desk, his cologne, spice, and smoke, filling my senses. "I don't pay for good PR, Sloane. I pay for silence. Don't forget your place." His words were a clear reminder of our past, a warning not to challenge him. He still saw me as the naive girl he could easily control. The tension was a live wire. A week later, a charity gala at the Boston Public Library forced us into a truce for public appearance. I wore a dress of midnight blue, feeling like a sacrifice. To my horror, Saint was my assigned escort. He spent the night with his hand possessively on the small of my back, his touch a brand through the silk. He played the doting partner perfectly, while his words, whispered in my ear, were pure venom. "You look beautiful tonight. It's a shame it's just a facade." My sister Chloe, home from college for the weekend, watched us with worried eyes. Later, as Saint was pulled away by a senator, she found me near the grand staircase. "Sloane, he looks at you like he owns you. It's terrifying." "He thinks he does," I replied, my voice hollow. Suddenly, Saint was there, having overheard. His jaw was tight. "A word, Sloane." He didn't wait for an answer, steering me into a secluded alcove lined with books. Terrifying, he echoed, his voice low and dangerous. You think I'm the monster? You tell me, Saint. You're the one who called me a mistake. For a fleeting second, something raw flickered in his eyes. Not anger, but pain. It was gone in an instant, replaced by cold fury. Some mistakes are too tempting to only make once, he growled, before turning on his heel and leaving me breathless and confused in the dark. The dynamic had shifted. Saint's insults grew sharper, his presence more constant, as if my defiance was a flame he couldn't help but circle. He started showing up at my weekly dinners with Chloe and my mother, a silent, brooding guest who dominated the table without saying a word. One evening, after my mother praised his latest acquisition, he looked directly at me. Not all beautiful things are worth acquiring. Some are more trouble than they're worth. It was the final straw. I stood, my chair scraping loudly. I've had enough of this. I fled to the balcony, gripping the cold railing. The door opened behind me. I expected my sister. It was him. Running away, little mistake? I spun around. Why are you doing this? You got what you wanted. My family's company. My obedience. Why can't you just leave me alone? His mask of icy control finally shattered. He advanced, caging me against the railing. Leave you alone, he bit out, his face inches from mine. You have no idea, do you? You have no idea what you did to me. What I did. You destroyed me. You walked away, he roared, the sound raw and startling in the quiet night. I called you a mistake, and you just accepted it. You didn't fight. You just left. I stared at him, utterly stunned. He was angry because I hadn't fought for him. The logic was twisted, insane. But in his stormy eyes, I saw it, a torment that mirrored my own. The following Monday, the air in the Manhattan high-rise was electric. I avoided Saint, my mind reeling from his balcony confession. His anger made no sense. He was the villain in my story. Why did he look at me like I was the one who broke him? My answer came during a high-stakes board meeting. Cashin presented a ruthless plan to liquidate several of my father's legacy assets, the heart of Hart Industries. My father, present via a monitor, looked pale but silent. I couldn't be. No, I stated, my voice clear. All eyes turned to me. Cashin smirked. The adults are speaking, Sloane. I stood, ignoring him, my gaze locked on Saint at the head of the table. This butchery isn't a sound business strategy. It's a power play, and I won't allow it. Saint leaned back, steepling his fingers. You won't allow it? The Hart name still holds weight that I will go to the press. I will tell them how Julian St. Patrick is systematically dismantling a legacy out of sheer spite. Silence. Cashin laughed. She's bluffing. But Saint was watching me, a strange, almost proud glint in his eyes.
He saw I wasn't bluffing.
The meeting is adjourned, he said quietly. Everyone out. Now. The room cleared in seconds. When the door shut, it was just us. He stood and walked toward me, a predator once more. Finally, he purred. The fighter I remember. This has nothing to do with you and me. I lied, my heart hammering. Everything has to do with you and me, he shot back, stopping just before me. You've been a ghost in my life for 3 years, Sloane. A quiet, haunting regret. But this? He gestured around the empty boardroom. This fire? This is so much worse. Worse for who? For you? Because I'm not your quiet little mistake anymore. Yes, he roared, his control evaporating. He gripped my arms, his touch searing. Because now I can't let you go. I thought I could punish you, hurt you like you hurt me, and get you out of my system. But you're in my blood. You're a sickness I don't want to be cured of. His confession hung between us, violent and raw. He was staring at my lips, his breath ragged. The air crackled with the unsaid, with 3 years of hatred and longing. And then he kissed me. It wasn't gentle. It was a conquest, a punishment, a desperate prayer all at once. His hands tangled in my hair, pulling me closer as if he could fuse us together. And the worst part? I kissed him back. With every ounce of my fury and pent-up passion, I kissed him back, my hands fisting in his shirt. When he finally pulled away, we were both gasping. He rested his forehead against mine, his eyes closed in agony. "I hate you," I whispered, the words having no bite. A pained, broken sound escaped him. "I know," he breathed. "God, Sloane, I know. But you're my mistake. And I'm never making the mistake of letting you go again." Subscribe for more stories where love walks the razor's edge between vengeance and obsession.